Well, guys, I'm in Houston, Texas. Going to be out of here later today. Back home for a short window, then back out and home, out. Just continue to do this thing, trying to continue to keep building up. Of course, some brand building. Got to be face to face with people. The other is just getting the information out, right? Trying to get the information out through here. There's a handful of people that watch this each time I put it out. But it's also the face-to-face stuff. People got to know exactly what you're about, and you've got to really be out there these days to try and drive business. I'm doing 3 times as much as I'd done before. Right now, the business is about 2/3 of what it was previously. So we got to push to keep building this up. So there's a lot of craziness going on out there. First off, let's talk about something, right? We get really caught up in what's going on in our own world, what's going on in our own finances, going on, all that kind of stuff. But a quick little reminder of something we haven't talked about in a little while. That's my fault. Is go to the website, aaron.chapman.com, scrolling down right here. Guys, we close deals all the time. When we close a deal, we should look at doing something to benefit others, right? Something you should be looking at personally. I like to drive the awareness to this particular cause. It's taking a bit for a risk update, but here we are. This is our landing page for that, because we're working directly with OUR, and we had been in a lot of different things. And here is what we were pushing for. And we slowed down on it. Hadn't talked about as much as we should, but I'm talking about here. So look at this. Go into this, click donate button, get involved, throw $50, something to that effect. Nothing extreme. Doesn't have to be huge. Just every little bit's going to help out, right? We're trying to continue to keep building up not only awareness of the fact that we got this human trafficking issue everywhere, right? But also it takes equipment, it takes operators, it takes technology, they've got these media sniffing dogs, right? The little tiny micro USB or micro SD cards. There's a certain adhesive that's used in the process of creating those. These dogs now can sniff that out, and you find it hidden in walls and stuff. So it's amazing what they have, but that costs money. Costs lots of money. So anything we do to continue to help that out. Speaking of that kind of thing, interesting thing, this just came out. Look it up. Do some research on it. You'll find that a federal judge in New York just said it's okay for the Virgin Islands and the people accusing Jeffrey Epstein and all his people there, because they can sue Chase Bank, because they benefited from that whole thing. Now, I don't know, look it up, read it, like, wow. They're going after people that are holding the money, that were making money off of these guys doing their deals. So dirt bagginess is going to come back around. So you gotta be aware of that. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the banking world. Back, what else we got going on right now? We've got 186 other banks. Let me share another screen with you. 186 banks at this point are at risk of failure. So because of that, what the Fed do? Fed opened up and says, hey, we're going to loan you out $300 million. And that $300 million is going to help shore things up. Now, how is that going to help us in our inflationary environment? I don't know. Because when you put $300 million into the economy for things like that, it's not going to help inflation as far as I can see. That's my own personal thought. So I think that, or it started at 300 billion. Sorry, I used the million thing because billion is still a big ass number. $300 billion. And so 186 banks now could be susceptible to this same kind of collapse. Now, the $300 billion that was put out, half of that went to Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Where'd the other go? Where'd the other half go? We don't know. That hasn't been disclosed yet. So we have this $300 billion now goes into these institutions. It gets distributed out in different ways. More money into the economy, probably continue to hurt inflation, the little numbers a little bit, continue to get inflated. That's just my initial thought on this one. But we still have some problems going on out there when it comes to the banking world. And the least of it, well, not even the least of it, all of it. All of it. So now if those collapse, right, if we start seeing a major collapse of these smaller banks, what happens is they get rolled up into the bigger banks. What we do, we might have just the big five, right? And that's possible. Well, what's happening with the big five right now when it comes to loans? They're not writing them, right? Wells Fargo, remember, they got out of the mortgages, right? They're like, hey, we're not writing anymore. We're done getting hammered for stuff. Well, they're doing stuff that's going to get them hammered. So guys, you might want to think about, if you're thinking about, maybe I should talk to one of the banks to try and get a loan on my investment property. One, they don't want to do them. Two, you may want to start making a relationship with people that want to do them and that are into this particular business, understand this kind of business that I've been doing it a long time, namely me, right? And my team been on the absolutely kicks ass. So let's get into the charts a little bit here. I've got since I'm on a one screen scenario here, I have to keep bouncing back and forth here trying to make this work. It's not the easiest thing in the world, as it can be when I'm doing multiple screens, but we'll make it work. So here's the charts. What we're looking at here, because of what happened with the Fed raised the rates by 0.25%, what we expected, so that the market got what they expected, which is, helped us out. We got back up here into this channel, which we haven't been in this channel in quite some time. We were bouncing, trying to get into it, right? Trying to get in there. We got into it yesterday. So as a result of getting into it yesterday, we bumped above the 200-day moving average, which, look at the last time we did that. We only did it for one moment, right? One moment. Well, that's where we're at now. I'm not saying this is a long-lived situation. We don't hang above the 200-day moving average very often. Look at this. This is the 200-day moving average right here. We've been above it one time. We're going above it one more time. I think we're going to get back below that. And every time we've gone below it, look, we got pushed below all these other moving averages. This is Friday. If we stay there, that could be a good thing. But I would really think if you got something you got to lock, you better frickin' lock it. We don't have anything in history that I can see in a very long time that tells me we are going to sit above this very long. If you're thinking, you're kicking back and forth, whatever, Scotty's talking to you, and you haven't done it yet because you're going to see what tomorrow brings, it's freaking tomorrow. You need to get on it now. You need to start talking about that lock. There's nothing that shows me. Now, could I be wrong? It's possible. Crazier shit's happened. It always has. But right there shows me, man, we might be at the best we've got for a while, for a month or so. So might want to take that into consideration. You make the decision. You're the CEO of your investment business. You got Scotty as a consultant, myself. We're going to give you the best information we can. That's the best information I got on this right now. That's all I got. You may want to make the decision, make the decision fast. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you on Tuesday.